Hello, I'm Dana Monsiagli with a series about Cut the Crap, Get a Job. Today's topic is about the questions that you ask in an interview and how critical they are to you winning that job. Yes, the questions you ask, not the ones that are being asked to you. Joseph had an hour-long interview at 8 a.m. with the hiring manager, Susan, for a position he really wanted and he was super qualified for. He did some good research on the company, and in the morning he reread the job description and he brushed up on his top strengths, his top weaknesses, all the standard interview questions that you need to know, and he knew them. He was on time, he did really well during the interview. Everything was going great. Then, the last 15 minutes, Susan asked, "Well, Joseph, what questions do you have for me?" And by then they know one another and he's getting a lot more relaxed. And Joseph's mistakes were the following. Number one, he didn't have any questions pre-prepared. He had nothing in his folio that he could pull out and said, "Oh, I have 3 questions for you, Susan." So he had to think in the interview. Secondly, what he thought of was he asked, "What is the starting salary?" Big no-no. No money talks in an interview of any kind. Under no reason, no shape or form should you ever approach this subject. And that was his first question. Out of the gates, obviously not being prepared, asking the starting salary. Joseph's third question, actually second one before he stopped to think, was, is there a training program? You need to be careful with this question because if there's not a training program, the alarm bells are going off because Joseph may need a training program. Yet I'm hiring someone who I expect doesn't need a training program, who can get on the ground running. So don't ask anything about what help will I get to get on board and to be trained. You can ask that later after you get the offer in hand. And finally, Joseph closed with the third question of, what does your division do? Guess what? These were deal breakers based on the questions he asked. Now, I'd like to give you some examples of some of my favorite questions to ask. Number one, I really like asking Mr. Hiring Manager or interviewer, what does success look like at the end of a year? So you're showing that you're driven, you're highly competitive, you want to be the best. So what does success look like? How are you going to measure me? Number two, I've read about your competition, but who is the number one competitor that's keeping you awake at night? And my third question is, what are the top issues that you're facing that I'm going to be part of, that I'm going to help you solve in this job? So you're asking insightful questions, they're still relevant to the job, you're showing interest, yet you're not disclosing any weaknesses of your own. So write down your preparation questions, the questions you're going to ask. Have about 10 of them if you're going through a whole day of interviews, but it's okay to ask the same question to a few people. Get your questions right. Cut the crap, get a job, and good luck. Thank you.